Hi, I'm Sherry. I want to welcome you to my studio today. I'll be taking part in a challenge later this month, so I want to do a little test first. A girl named Demetria, hope I'm saying that right, posts the most beautiful photos that she gets using just paint density in combinations that cause it to make organic looking cells. No silicone, no additives, just the density of the paint. Now you go on Golden's website and it'll tell you the density of the pigments, but not all the paints, so you kind of have to figure it out. But I got GAC 800. I have mixed everything 10 to 1, and I'm going to do one flip cup heaviest to lightest and one lightest to heaviest. The yellow should be the lightest. Primary magenta, whoops. Had these sitting in here a while. I think they skimmed up on the top. This one is lightest to heaviest with globs. And then titanium white. All of these are Golden paints mixed 1 part paint to 10 parts GAC 800. And now I know not to leave it sitting around with the top off. So lightest yellow, red, blue, white. And I'm going to pour a little white around because that's coming out first. Not going to stir or anything, just going to flip. And then in this cup, I'm going to do heaviest to lightest. I'll pour the white around later. Now the only one of these that the pigment that was just a single pigment was the primary magenta. Everything else was multiple pigments, and so I was guesstimating to see which would be lighter and heavier. So we'll see how I do. I'll flip this one this way. Don't want it to get on the other one. Ooh, pretty. All right, they've all sat there a while. So it's pretty thin. This is the recommended ratio from Golden. If you use high flow, you can use 15 parts GAC to 1 part paint. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, that's pretty. I'll have to go back and watch the video to remember which one I put in which order. Let's see, let's just tip. Whoops. Keep hitting it with my tummy. This had a lot of bubbles because I just mixed it up, so I'm gonna look at that. That's so pretty. Well, clearly need to let it sit with the top on, with a cover on, so that I don't get that skim on it, and I need to let it sit longer so that, oh, there goes all the pretty, I'm sorry, there I go, trying to talk and do something at the same time. And I need to make sure that while it's sitting, it's covered so it doesn't get that skim on the top. It looks like it works best if you put lightest in, which seems counterintuitive. It seems like you'd want the heavy on the top and it would work its way down. But you want, it looks like you get much better. I really don't like wasting that much paint. Here I thought I was gonna not have enough. Wow. A lot of people are afraid of the torch. It can get really hot right there if you have flame going through it for a while. But they're afraid they're going to start a fire. So you can buy this little first alert extinguisher, and it's just a little thing of foam, and you can do it real fast. I use fire with my encaustic, and that's why I already had the torch. Some of the techniques you want to actually catch on fire, like the shellac. But mainly what I catch on fire is if I have paper, or as I did in the pour earlier, I scorch the paint because I get it too close. Well, either my paints were too close in density, which they shouldn't be because the titanium white is like 4 times as heavy as the red, or I should have stirred or something. But I got no cells here. However, got some beautiful color combinations. Beautiful. Well, I'm back. Ow! Ouch. So I wanted to show y'all, I've shown you before that I take ball jars and I store all my paint in it. Wish they paid me for using them, anyway, but when I make little batches of paint, I got these new little cups that have little lids. They only hold 2 ounces, but you saw how far that paint went. Diamond Daily 50 mini cups with lids. They're made for jello shots, I think, but I like them for little tiny batches. They're also good if you mix up some primary elements and you want to keep them. These are good for that. A long time ago I did that experiment where I mixed everything, and this is what GAC 800 and fluid acrylics looked like. I thought when I did the experiments they were 10 to 1, but I think I didn't read the measuring things right, and I think they were closer to 5 to 1. But the milkiness of this will go away, and you'll see some true colors afterwards. So I'll be back when they're dry and show you. It sure is stickier than Floetrol. All right, here we are with the finished product. Clearly the density experiment did not work. This was in the cup lightest to heaviest, so that it was, when it was flipped, the heaviest was on the bottom, and this was heaviest to lightest in the cup, so heaviest was on the top. Not much of anything in the way of cell formation or paints coming up. There's a few very small spots that are pretty cool looking, but they're so tiny. And in this one, same thing, small spots, tiny. But let me tell you what I love here. you get this level of translucency that is unbelievable. These colors are not mixed together. They just show through each other. And while I don't consider this art, it definitely taught me a lot about these materials. I mean, look at that. That is, oh, gorgeous. I think I may have to make that my new header or something. And the shine. You know, one of the problems with Floetrol is that it mattifies your paint. And so I've never liked the way it works with metallics, because who wants a dull metallic? But here you have, whoops, sorry, let me get it in the sun. That's bad. Can you see the reflectivity? It helps if I point my camera in the right place. That's just stunning. And that is without any finish. There's a pretty cool looking little bullseye. I am going to have to talk to Demetria, hope I say her name right, see what I did wrong. But I will definitely be using these in my challenge. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you. Please leave any questions or comments you might have, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you'll subscribe. Thanks again. Bye.